What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey. We just decided today, two Team Tauruses. My name is OE Son, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm with
Riziki Zafira in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Team.
Taurus.
Y'all gonna get this work right now. Y'all gonna really get this. It's gonna be valuable. So y'all just get ready, right? Please press 2 if you've already shared this with somebody. But definitely, and put your what city and state you're from and what your team zodiac is. Today we're talking about relationships and value. I guess Raziki was like, my worth, right? And the topic of closure is not
no, ghosting is not closure.
Ghosting is not closure, like you see on the bottom of the screen, right? So everybody's always talking about ghosting right now as a form of, how they're handling relationships. Riziki, what's your definition of ghosting?
Ghosting is, and I have been a masterful practitioner of ghosting. So ghosting for me, it was that ability to just say, oh, so this is what it is. Okay, deuces, fuck it, I'm out. Blocking calls, blocking social media, I'm demonstrating as if we never existed.
I should put, look, I gotta put now. I had to change it because I forgot. It ain't closure, and it's not healing either. Because you ignore someone. So for me, ghosting, I don't know. Maybe in the past I could have done some ghosting, but I have definitely been ghosted by some women. You know what I'm saying? And ghosting to the point of, well, I'm so frustrated. This is not working. I'm blocking you. We're not going to talk about it. And to me, ghosting is, I'm at the basketball court with my basketball. I lost the game, and the next people are playing with my ball. They won't pick me up, and I take my ball and go home now. To me, that is spiritual immaturity. You know what I'm saying? We promote spiritual maturity because that's the only way you're going to grow spiritual power. You can't cultivate spiritual power if you're spiritually immature. Can I get an amen?
Hallelujah, Ashe. Now, this is what I will say. Come on. And I don't think people realize, as practitioners, right? So we study energy, spirit, and how things are stored in the body, the brain, so forth and so on. So in my mind, when I go through something, and my definition of ghosting, MIA, whatever, and there's many levels. So let's just say if I've been in this relationship with this person, something bad happens, and then I'm just like, fuck it, we're not going to talk about it, no closure, I just ghost you, like I'm done. That's very unhealthy. To me, that's very unhealthy. Even though we may have a right to feel how we may feel, but the fact remains that there is still trapped emotions and expressions in your body that you didn't get a chance to release. And what's even more important is the person who needed to get it, gets it. And sometimes, and I know that I've been in situations where I said something, but then I go back and damn, I wish I would have said this, this, that, and the third, so it's not healing. It's not healthy. At least for me, I can't be a practitioner in this life and operate like that. So closure conversations are very important for me because even in relationships, I understand when I date you, I'm preparing you for the next relationship. Just like when you date me, and I feel like that if all men and women operated like that, I think we would treat each other a little bit more better because I understand the man I date is going to be somebody else's future husband, somebody else's future father. Same thing, for the men. So being able to have these closure conversations, it helps me learn about myself, how to learn to do things better. And I'm too old to be ending shit on a negative energy like that. It feels yucky.
And remember the rule. The rule. If you don't close it and you don't tie those wires up, they're going to activate on the very next relationship that you encounter. And so you can't run from it. It's no, can I get even closer? That's too far. I want to get up close and personal. There's no running from this part of your destiny because, as I said, you co-created it. And that's the part that kills me. If you're ghosting, you are denying the creation of who you are. You co-created this with this other person. As a matter of fact, Riziki, don't hang up on me and some people get ready to go crazy. Okay. You prayed for this. You actually prayed for this to come so you could grow.
People will hear that. People will hear that and get offended. And I get like you're not listening with the correct ears. If you're praying for growth and expansion, that means that situations are going to come to you that's going to make you have to step into that growth and expansion. And it ain't always going to be pretty. So I think why people get offended is when we ask and pray for growth of expansion, we get offended. It don't come in the package we expect it to come into. Right. Go ahead.
Now, Riziki, there's a few people that on this platform, because we're on Facebook, we're on my YouTube channel, and we're on Jasmine's Mystic at the Crossroads. Please tell people just a quick background about how you got the authority to say this. What do you do in the regular? Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm a sidereal astrologer. And I love going back and forth with my brother Oyi to, compare notes. So I've been doing that for years. I'm also a tantric practitioner and teacher. Sacred sexuality, sexual science, yoni steaming, Reiki, I'm a transformation guide, and I use many tools to help myself and my clients. So some people say I'm a medicine woman. So that's my little background. Okay. So I am qualified and I live this shit every day. So just in case y'all didn't know. Okay.
And so why did you even call me though? Why? You got your Rolodex.
Let me tell you. Okay. And some women may get offended, but hey, I'm used to it. I don't give me no sugarcoat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm a woman and I'm emotionally intelligent enough to read the meat of what you're saying. I'm not going to get caught up in the little nitpick stuff. So when I'm going through self-doubt, like I know the decision I need to make, I know the truth, but there's that part of you that's encouraging you to question yourself. Let me go on and call my brother real quick. Bro, I need the real. Give me the real. Don't sugarcoat. Don't hold back. Give it to me. Give it to me. I need a shock to my cells. Shock the information in my cellular. Like make it hit so it ain't got no choice but to recognize what it just downloaded and travel all through my body so the message can resonate and then I can move forward in what I need to do.
I'm going to show them what... So people will be like, oh, well, how'd this happen? That's how it happened right there, y'all. Right there. I made this joint. You see it's got 12 shares, and then Riziki came in and she was just like, hey, what she say? She said, is you looking? She said, hold on. You said,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, blah, blah, blah. But then she said, man, are you looking through my window this month? You could at least say, hi, fix me breakfast. Then what I say? Right. I said, I can't reply to this publicly. LOL, call me. So we just got off the jack for like 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? We've already had a really extensive conversation about the exact personal situation. We didn't do no generalizations and all that. And then she was mimicking something for me. And I was just listening. And I was just like, I said, let me just tell you. Team Taurus, get with the program. I need to get on this astrology. Stop joking around. Then now that we done moved to tantra and coaching businesses and entheogens, when y'all had us full time on the astrology, y'all was playing. You see what I'm saying? And the first question I asked her was what? Where's this Neptune?
Neptune sure did.
Where's it? Because even as astrologers,
Libra rising in sidereal, but Scorpio rising in Western. And then the Neptune in Scorpio, the Mars in Scorpio. I'm like, okay, come on. And here's the thing, ladies. See, and I'm telling myself, we gotta, like, I saw the signs. That's why I'm laughing at myself, because I saw the signs. And
the yellow flag. You saw the yellow flag on the field?
Yeah, and sometimes you choose to ignore them or think or fall or go with the potential of what could be instead. And see, that's the downside sometimes, Brother Oyi, of us being healing practitioners, because sometimes we don't know when to let go because we think we can help or save the situation, or
which turns, I mean to interrupt, but which turns healers are some of the biggest Captain Saver hoes and Captain Saver bros that are out here, because we like, well, I help people for a living. Now it's my personal relationship. I'm gonna just Venus and Capricorn this thing, Venus and Taurus thing. I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm just gonna hold on because I got all the answers. But you really do have the answers. But guess what? You were supposed to hit it with the. You're supposed to hit it with the Michael Jordan when he hit that thing like that, the reverse layup. You got to let it go if you want to score sometimes, right? And so, but now let's get to the closure part.
Yes.
Riziki asked me, can I just, after we talked, I gave her the formula. She said, can I send the text? Let me read this.
I blocked him at first. I was like, yo, I'm blocking everything. And this is what I explained. I said, ghosting for me turned into what I kind of considered healthy, right? And here's why. So I did that because I'm like, during this separation or grieving process, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to give you access to me because it may run the risk of me going back into this pattern. Now, what I realize is that's just some weak shit, right? Just be strong enough to still be able to hear from the dude and be like, no, you know what I'm saying? So that I said, okay, ghosting is a escape from facing certain things that you need to face.
Which is childish, which is immaturity.
Childish and immaturity. However, I do understand how some of us can mistake that as a protection mechanism or just trying to prevent certain things. So I'm not going to say that for everybody, like because my intention is not to act from a childish or petty space. It's more so protection. But I also understand how that method can be viewed as childlike, because it's like you're trying to avoid, facing certain things.
But see, she called a martial artist. So for me, I'm a martial artist all the time, because if we walking down the street and somebody try to run up on Riziki, she's going to expect me to know how to defend myself. And I don't want to get my ass whooped just for me. Don't want to get my ass whooped. I'm going to just start with like me first, my own space. Now I got the queen with me. Or if it's just my homie, or if it's my nephew, or if it's my mama, who I know doesn't know martial, we don't block. We don't block in martial arts. We go forward. And so our routine is avoid rather than hurt rather than maim rather than kill, because all life is precious. This person is trying to hurt us. They're trying to maim us. So let's face it, get the closure out of the way so the next relationship I run into has a nice, fresh palate. And we can stop castrating one another, which is why when we don't set each other up for their next relationship, we end up, well, a lot of women that I know and have worked with, so y'all won't think I'm saying all women, they have this emotional, spiritual, or sometimes magical castration that if the nigga hurt me, I'm gonna cut his nuts off. But you don't know that you're throwing a fish that's now not really
like you're setting yourself up for your future relationships. Like people don't realize when you operate in an energy of castrating this guy, you're literally setting yourself up to do the same thing for your next guy.
Absolutely. So we're going to address Miss Womb Healer. You have all the right to disagree, but we're coming from a very high level, spiritual, mature tantric and astrology and magical position that you may be unaware of. So don't disagree so fast. Just listen instead of listening to find out where you can disagree.
But she disagrees. It's just why does she disagree? And so the why is never leave the door open for someone who hurts and abuses you. Okay, so I want to clarify.
Hold on. We're here to tell Miss Goddess Womb Healer and everybody else that ghosting doesn't close the door. Okay, ghosting and blocking someone on social media, not taking their calls, not being an adult does not close the door. We agree that.
I've actually had people hit me up more because I blocked them. When I have a closer conversation, I don't hear from you. But when I block you, you find other means to contact me. I'm always on your mind. You are psychically, mentally calling for me. So no, let me get that close. And again, I don't know, and I'm not trying to insult nobody. I don't know what level of understanding she's on. And this isn't to negate, you know what I'm saying? But my level of understanding and my personal experience, I know this to be true. So I'm just saying what works for me.
Well, so here's the thing. If I learn how to make $100,000 a month and it worked for me, it could work for somebody else because I can do it. When you go in boxing, they tell you to keep your arms up. That's not because just one person did it. That's because it's just a rule. Oh. So now just say I call you right back. Just say I call you right back. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm freeing my baby up today. That's why she's smiling right now. When she called me, she didn't have this energy. She didn't have this energy when she take yourself off mute. She didn't have this energy when she called. But look at her face right now. She's glowing. She did an unblock. She unblocked all the social media. She said, we're going to have a closure conversation. What I tell you the C in conversation stands for, Riziki? Closure.
Closure, yeah.
C in conversation is closure. You can't have closure by sticking your head in the sand, pretending that you didn't invest. She was heavily invested. So now don't heavily invest and then don't get a return, some sort of return out there, because that's how you will do your money. And we don't do that. Not us, not this zodiac sign. We need a return on our investment. And we also want to stand in power because we're closing it for real. Ghosting is the way to leave it open for a long time.
Yeah.
And now when she identified and says, hey, I want to have this closure conversation, then guess what happens? The universe saw her take action on closure. Now the universe is going to help. But when the universe sees you ghost, the universe says, oh, you're just going to keep on avoiding. So we're just going to keep on running. We're going to keep on. My mama is like that. I call it the tennis shoe technique. Every time a situation come up, you just buy a new pair of tennis shoes. You don't deal with it. You can't run from the board. You see what I'm saying? So we just want to give y'all. Come on.
And I do just want to address her before we close off, because I do agree you do not give access to people to continue to hurt you. So my main point was, and if you go back to his post, which is why I said, for me, I did take that time of separation for me to grieve, for me to process, so that when the closure conversation happened, because it needs to, I'm not easily going to fall back into the cycle of whatever abuse or whatever. But the purpose of closure is to hold people accountable. Hold accountable for my actions as far as me understanding what I did to attract this situation, why I chose to stay after seeing certain yellow flags, and, just lessons that I've learned. For me, that is important to communicate to another person who's worthy of that conversation. Because at the end of the day, if we really about brotherly love, sisterly love, we are about making each other better. Yes, feelings will get hurt. Yes, we will get pissed. But the bigger picture is we all need to get better. We have all suffered dysfunction. We have all suffered trauma. So for me to expect you to just automatically, that's unfair. And I don't know, maybe it's my fault to be kind of that compassionate, but I still have my boundaries. Yes, certain ones you're not going to get access to certain conversations, but certain situations deserve closure. They do. So that's just my stance, and that's all I got to say.
The certain situation that deserves closure is from someone like a Riziki who desires and has done a tremendous amount of work to have a healthy, harmonious relationship. So in order for her to have the healthy, harmonious relationship that she's put in countless years of work, then she must address the things that as they come up. She can't just be like, I got a house, but in the kitchen it leaks when it rains. But if we just go everywhere else when it rains in the house, then we can avoid that particular leak. It has to be addressed because she wanted a very secure house in the first place that was healthy, harmonious. Also, it added champagne to her campaign versus us always adding champagne to somebody else's campaign and you not adding champagne to my campaign. And we want to have, let's talk about it, we want to have bomb ass sex too, because a lot of jokers out here, you start ghosting for these reasons, but that could be the person, and we don't internally look at what it is, because when Riziki called me, she said, am I tripping? And when she was asking me, on her evaluation, she wasn't tripping. On her technique, she was a little tripping. I just tightened the technique up. She was absolutely clear on the evaluation, but how she was going to respond to it was where we needed to just, twerk just a little bit.
Because I be in my emotions, so that's why I got to call my brother to help balance me out a little bit. I'm aware. I'm emotionally intelligent when I need assistance to process my shit.
Absolutely. And so, ladies, the jewel we really giving you is not just don't stop ghosting, have the conversation. You need to be like Riziki. You need to find you a cat, a G-O-D, like myself, who gonna keep it 1,000 with you, who got technique. See, this is hustle commandment number 1. My network is my net worth. She called, I was just like, what's up? And she was about to boo-hoo. She went almost into boo-hoo land. I let her drift a little bit. Then we pulled on.
Snap it back, bring it back.
Bring on, because that energy, she can't serve the people in her life. She can't serve, the next relationship.
Yeah.
And she's letting that ghosting allows a person to live rent-free in your mind. And ghosting allows a person to live rent-free in your mind because of your excuses of why you don't want to face your fear. Your rewards on the other side of facing your fear. When you face your fear, the universe is like, oh, she gets credits. It's like you get extra men on the video game. She gets credits. She's facing her fear. But when you don't face your fear, you just run away. It's like now you got to keep putting quarters in the game to play. You wasting money. You could earn extra credits.
Yeah, life is truly science. And I think one of the reasons I had a issue with the spiritual community is because you would say stuff that makes no scientific sense. Like you would say stuff that does not match up with laws of nature. So, in life science, if I am challenged to rise to a certain frequency and the universe gives me a situation that's going to test me, right? And I choose to not go through that, then I failed. Whatever it is I'm supposed to develop is not developed. So science is about removing your emotion, removing whatever false belief system or whatever fear, and saying, because I understand the science of this, I understand that when I go through this, this is going to be built. And because this is going to be built, this is going to happen. And I think as women specifically, and I'm speaking on this because I'm a woman, and I'm speaking on this because I've done it, we let that emotional shit take us into a space that isn't always wise. Now, this is different from intuition. I'm not saying intuition and emotion, different things. But, when we start thinking a little bit with some science, it really helps. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know.
Because you're getting ready to answer this question. Did I tell you that the situation that you were in, you co-created? Didn't I say that?
Yeah, you did. And how could I get offended?
Hold on. Did you agree or disagree?
I agreed. I co-created.
So now I'm going to ask you, would you agree that all relationships are co-created?
Of course. And I want to break down why. Huh?
Give me short answers first. I'm giving you alley-oop. Watch how I'm gonna let you run off.
I'm gonna follow you.
So a person who has a great, harmonious, sexually satisfying relationship, they co-created that, yes or no?
Yes.
A person who has a domestic violence or some trauma-filled relationship, they co-created that, right?
Yes.
So,
but I want to be clear. No, or you got to clear it up. I don't want to leave that open.
I'm gonna let you come back. I'm gonna let you come back to the whole thing up. I'm gonna let you come back to the whole thing.
Okay.
So pointing the finger at someone else nullifies your creatorship, right or wrong?
It takes away the some attention from your part. Yes, it does. It does not. It does not allow you to see where you need to be accountable.
So because there was some kind of way you picked them by ignoring flags and things like that, or vice versa. The man did that too, right? So the popular thing that's going on right now is for everyone in a failed relationship to point at the other person and call them a name and say they're a narcissist. So now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to and then after I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to give it back to Riziki and let it go all the way. By what we just said, that we all are co-creators, everyone watching this right now, regardless of what level of magic you're on, if you were dealing with a narcissist, you co-created the situation to have a narcissist come to you with a challenge and a test for you to grow from. And the narcissist was necessary. It's not just on them that you can point the finger and say, this person is a narcissist or this person was that. You still co-created the environment for that person to be in your realm. You co-created that for that person to be in your realm. And now I turn it back over to Riziki to go in.
Okay, yeah, because I see where disconnection can come from certain comprehension. So there's no closure with narcissists. So I do agree that there are certain people who will just never own up to their portion in things. I will not disagree with you on that. However, what we also fail to realize is somehow we ended up with this narcissist in the first place. Like that, we really got to dissect that. How did we end up with this narcissist in the first place? Now, getting into traumatic or crazy relationships, I don't think any woman in her right mind says, hey, let me pick this toxic ass relationship. I don't think they say that. However, what we do have to realize is you choose to entertain things based on your level of frequency and all that stuff, right? Regardless if you know better or not, right? The point is you choose to stay in that situation, and you choose to stay in that situation based off of whatever belief systems or whatever it is that you have that supports your decision to stay. So at the end of the day, that is still your thing you got to be accountable for. Like regardless if it's intentional or unintentional. So let me use me. I don't want to talk about nobody else. Let me use me, right? So in this situation, I understand that I said I want to magnetize this kind of relationship in my life, blah, 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 right? So here I am, I meet a brother, and then I'm like, okay, this feels good, this feels right. And a lot from then up until 8 months, okay, I see flags. I see the flags. Like if I'm going to keep it real with myself, I see flags. So instead of saying, you know what, I see these flags and let me cut it off now, I choose to let's work on it. But regardless, I still see the flags. So as things goes on and shit just ends up hitting the fan, how can I be that surprised? I mean, really, I saw the flags. I know the science. I'm aware that I chose to deal with or accept or ignore certain things based on the level of energy or frequency that contributes to me making my decisions. Like, that's what I'm saying. We got to study science. Like, we make decisions based off the information that's in our spirit, in our energy. So this whole situation shows me I just got a little bit more work to do. That's it. Because I'm going to attract all types of people. But the people I choose to entertain, I choose to engage with, that's all on me. And I can't put that on nobody else. So I'm just grateful that, okay, it's a joint venture, something to be learned by both sides. Always find your responsibility in it and gain your power back. Otherwise, you remain the victim. And Janelle, I love that, because guess what? When it's all said and done, that's the point. Don't be a victim and claim responsibility, because the bigger picture is rise above your occasion, rise to a higher frequency, and dismiss all that petty shit. The point is responsibility and get your power back. Point blank, period.
I'm gonna speak on Janelle. Absolutely, that's why I posted it.
I gotta go though. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna keep talking to him. I know. Yeah, you go handle what you got to handle, and then holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying?
I love you. Yeah, I need to get out my system. I love you so much.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute. Peace. Y'all still finna get this work, because I'm not finished yet. Because I go in. This person think they can just call me out the blue, no text. I just say what I gotta say. Let music be my healer. Self-care, reading, just focus on what you can change. Most of relationships are self-reflections. You must deal with the stuff that you created, and the person that is across from you is not music. Music don't talk back. Music don't give you feedback. I see so many of you all on here making suggestions. That is the avoider syndrome. You're never gonna grow up in your relationship maturity. There's spiritual maturity, there's financial maturity, then there's relationship maturity. When are you going to grow up in your relationship maturity? All of you watching this channel so probably are into some form of magic, some form of candle magic, spells, rituals. You call yourself goddess or god or king or queen, but does the behavior match what you're talking about? Because if you're God, you're running at something, you're creating something. God doesn't avoid. That's my piece. What is God avoiding? Why would God even have to avoid? You see what I'm saying? No, it's not. It's not going down like that. To my what? Oh, okay. What is that? I try to have a conversation with this Libra over and over to get clarity, and I get ignored, so I'm going to move on because this person doesn't want to do closure. Why did you get in a relationship? How did you end up in a relationship with the person in the first place? We must, before you even ask for closure, you must recognize your part in it in the first place. You're just talking to God as Lilith. I do agree that in certain situations you can receive closure, but sometimes the closure is setting yourself. No, it's not. It's never setting. It's never you saying, that's childish to be like, I got the last word. I told you I'm done with you. Now I block you. So now that's closure. I set myself free. Those etheric. Okay, let me hit y'all with something. For every 6 months of sex you have with a partner, there's 3 years of ties. 3 years of spiritual, emotional, and mental ties. Most of you don't know how to cut those ties. So if you was having a relationship with somebody for 1 year, that's 6 years worth of ties that's with you. A lot of y'all don't know that. A lot of y'all just are new to magic. You getting into it like, oh, I can just speak something out my mouth. If you don't have the equipment, you can't make the car go that fast. If you're racing a Lamborghini in a Toyota Prius and you try to speak it into existence that you're going to outrun the Lamborghini, no, you're going to have to get an equivalent or faster automobile. You're going to have to go get a Tesla or a motorcycle or another Lamborghini. Most people, that's why I'm having this conversation, because us black folks who dealing with magic really are playing and don't know what you're doing. And every time these relationships go south, you have an opportunity to strengthen your magic versus saying they're a narcissist. If you continue to say what they did and you ain't talking about your accountability, you got weak magic. Your magic is weak. I mean, you can get some things, some sparks to come out, but you can't create no ball of fire and hurl it around the world. Okay? Yes, I said it. Ghosting is not closure for who? For nobody. Healing Shadows LLC is not closure for anyone. Thank you, Ms. Holland. Benita Miller, I was ghosted 8 months ago by a narcissist. How'd you get with the narcissist in the first place? What signs did you miss? They tricked you, they fooled you. Everyone has different experience. People wear masks all the time. So now the problem is you couldn't tell they had a mask on. That means you wear a mask. That means if people wear masks all the time, that means you wear a mask as well. You weren't clear. Empathetic beings, please protect yourself. Your light will attract darkness. No, your light won't. Your light will attract more light. What she's saying, Miss Goddess Womb Healer, that's BS. That's something somebody else told you. That's some bull jive. No, your light won't. Get out of here. I'm going to do what Kimberly Savage says. I'm going to teach you something that you ain't clear on. Having a narcissist partner makes it harder to identify a narcissist partner. Later, learning how I attracted the negative partner. You can only break free after becoming accountable for my decisions. Hold that. And it's like that. And that's the way it is. Somebody wants to bring me some food. So guess what? I'm going to open up the menu and get me something because I haven't eaten. That's why when people say they want to cut soul ties, I'm ready to exit the conversation. Everybody don't know how to cut soul ties. A lot of y'all do not know how to cut. A lot of y'all don't even know how to do real shadow work. And you talking about you know how to cut a soul tie. I'm not avoiding. I did the self-reflection and realized the person was supposed to help me grow. The stuff I saw, I didn't like that stuff. I need to change within myself. Congratulations, absolutely. I saw them and ignored them all. That problem will continue, Benita, to come back and resurface for you. Every next relationship, every penis that you run into, or if you like women, every woman that you, whoever you date, you're gonna run into it every time. And you can stay out of the dating game for 9 months or 9 years. But if you didn't connect the wires back and close it off by having a conversation and leveling up spiritually, then forget about it. Tamara says, I literally told a close friend that I own responsibility for the choices I made in my relationships. I feel so powerful to that. And I have paused to reflect on that. Pause to reflect on it. Y'all ain't pausing to reflect. So pause and reflect on these jewels we dropped for y'all today. Definitely appreciate y'all for showing up over at the Mystic at the Crossroads. This ain't a takeover. This ain't a makeover. This is a takeover. I'm a part of the Mystic at the Crossroads. Let's talk magic. Entire teamwork. Holla at your boy. My website is OE517. If you want to get down with the Moon Magic, you can get down with Moon Magic 28. We're in the gathering phase. If you're watching and you're familiar with that, thanks for everybody on Facebook. Everybody who shared this video, please press 2. I thank you so much. I even love the sisters who came in and was like, I don't agree. That's okay. You don't see it from where I'm at. If you ask me, like, how do I see it like that, I could help you more versus just saying you don't. Anytime somebody say, you know what I'm saying, I can see how you see it that way, but you don't see how I see it, you might want to look at come up here where I'm at the level I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Because it was somebody that was looking at it from a different level to me that pulled me up by my coattail or by my back of my shirt so I could see. So there's nothing wrong with someone being at a level you're not so they can pull you up. We have these channels to pull each other up. Nobody's demeaning you. We're just saying, yo, you looking at it from a turtle view, not a giraffe view. You're not, oh, I'm just avoiding them. I'm just ghost. So ghosting is not closure and it damn sure ain't healing. Grow up. This is a part of relationship science. My grandmother always said, you are what you draw. Holla at them, Tammy. What do you think of manifesting? Do we manifest ghosting? There's no such thing. Manifesting in human design, manifesting means to inform. Can everybody please type that? Nobody's manifesting nothing. You're generating things. Manifest means to inform. All you black women, all you black men, stop using the word manifesting to substitute the word creation. Use the word generate. Do you think, do we manifest ghosting? No, you co-created a situation between two immature people. Are you going to grow up? That's why the thing says grow up. If somebody ghosted you, they're immature. They're spiritually immature. That's what ghosting is. Now, if they're physically abusive, I have to put a warrant on you. That's different. What's my YouTube info or social media? OYESUN, OYISUN is the YouTube channel. OE517 is the Instagram. Look at it from the outside. You need to step out of your situation, take a closer look, see what is really going on. Absolutely. Escape the victim mentality. I agree with owning your relationship responsibility, but on the real, isn't this world narcissist and overdrive? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Thank you, Nick67. Healing will often lead to the end because lessons learned, they rag. I don't know what that means. I'm ready to ghost my situation, but I realize it's me. The reflection is me. So I'm fixing and doing the shadow work, but that don't mean she is going to become agreeable or in alignment with me. You ain't looking for alignment. You're looking for self-preservation is number one on this planet. Oh, I gotta go get this food. Sorry. I love y'all. Hannibal Cole, get you like your men caught to Tia Tessera, Cabell Renata. I'm trying to cycle new to Harlem Nura. Now I get bored of Shay Yakadeka, Kalava Shaman, Barkham Tower, Ranka made to Zika Taker to meet Gammon, Kasim Kadosh, Badaruf Tufka, Nahel out of Taker, Yakit Gahel on Choppinez or Craig Tushka Taker, Shavata Nuka Bell, Ushma, Tazakatanu, your day Talamo, Brother Shim, Kavo Makuto, Balam Vaed. Word. And on that note, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Love y'all. Peace.